Shabbat Shalom, family. The good day say everybody once again, all praise the Most High, higher by Shemashaya. Baruch. Blessed to be in front of you guys once again. And in today's lesson is going to be called, Don't Look Back Now, We Almost There. Don't look back now, we almost there. Just want to give some words of encouragement for you guys that's in this walk. We see what's going on. We talked about last week about the signs, that's coming. But we want to make sure we stay on course and know that as we continue in this walk, we have a prize to obtain the end when we stay in the faith. So the Father's mercy is on the way. It's time to cheer up and properly find out within ourselves what is needed for us to receive the kingdom to come. We must stay motivated to learn the ways of the Father. What's promised is indescribable with what the Most High has for us. But do we believe in the promises? We had to ask ourselves. We will go over a few promises of the rewards to come in order to awaken ourselves to how much we actually be missing out due to wanting to be part of this. The kingdom known as the beast system, what is America. So we go to Zechariah chapter 2, verse 1. So we have to get our mindset off what's going on right now in America and look towards the kingdom. Because this place is pretty much done. And our time has come. As we waking up as a nation, America is crumbling at the same time. And you see what's going on in prophecy. Christ said, everybody try to go against this Bible. It says outdated, but everything that Christ is saying in the scriptures thousands of years ago is happening right now. So I just want to encourage brothers to stay focused. Don't get sidetracked with what's going on because our time is coming. And we will rule soon, and we will be back home in Zion. Okay, so we go to Zechariah chapter, Zephaniah. I said Zechariah, Zephaniah. I'm sorry, Zephaniah 2:1. Same area. Zephaniah 2:1.
All right, everybody, good? We're in the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, starting at verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
When he said gather yourselves together, he's talking about Israel. That's what we're doing now. We gather together. We have to gather together because all the nations don't like us. We have to learn how to work together. So the Most High has commanded us to gather ourselves together, O nation not desired, which is us, Israel. Go ahead.
Before the decree, bring forth before the day pass, as the chaff before the fierce anger of the Most High come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you.
Okay.
Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness.
So we got to seek righteousness and what?
Seek meekness.
So as we get this truth, we got to seek meekness. We got to be humble. So even though we got all this information about who we are and we know the scriptures, we had to be like Christ. We had to be humble. We can't be prideful. We can't talk down on our people that don't know. We had to be the example. Okay, keep going.
It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger.
Right, because if you operate in the spirit, with the Most High bringing wrath from the earth, if you don't have that spirit of meekness, the Most High might just consume you along with everybody else. So you want to always check yourself, make sure you have the spirit of meekness like Christ had. Go ahead.
Verse 4. For Gaza shall be forsaken, and Ashkelon a desolation.
These are physical locations. We know Gaza is what is in the Middle East. And you see what's going on right now. They're getting destroyed over there. Okay, go ahead.
They shall drive out Ashdod at the noonday, and Akron shall be rooted up. Woe unto the inhabitants of the seacoast of the nation of the Cherethites. The word of the Most High is against you, O Canaan, and the land of the Philistines. I will even destroy thee, that there shall be no inhabitant.
And that's why we should not go to those areas, because the Most High, you see what's going on over there in Palestine and Gaza. The Most High stirred up what's going on. He's moving those people out the way for us. That's why those places are getting destroyed by day. When you see going, the Most High is removing those nations, and declare us to go back over there. Okay, go ahead.
And the seacoast shall be dwellings and cottages for shepherds, and folds of the flocks. Mm-hmm. Verse 7. And the coast shall be for the remnant of the house of Judah.
What's going to be for?
For the remnant of the house of Judah.
So you see what's going on over there? He's moved out the way for the house of Judah to go right back to our land. The Most High got moved out the way. They're in our home right now. Okay, so the Most High is purging them out. Okay, go ahead.
They shall feed thereupon in the houses of Ashkelon, shall they lie down in the evening, for the Lord their power shall visit them and turn away their captivity.
Okay.
I have heard the reproach of Moab, and the revilings of the children of Ammon, whereby they have reproached my people, and magnified themselves against their border.
Okay. So the Moab and Ammon are the modern day Jordanians and the Palestinians. Okay. That's what you will do the research. Go ahead.
Verse 9. Therefore, as I live, saith the Most High, the Lord of hosts, the power of Israel, surely Moab shall be as Sodom, and the children of Ammon as Gomorrah, even the breeding of nettles and salt pits, and the perpetual
So it
desolation.
could be a perpetual desolation. You know what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah? That's how the Most High gonna deal with them the same way. Okay, go ahead.
The residue of my people shall spoil them, and the remnant of my people shall possess them.
And it goes back to Isaiah chapter 14, where Israel will be having Gentiles as captives in righteousness. Okay, matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Isaiah 14:1 to show that. But it's not gonna be the servitude like they did to us. It's gonna be righteous servitude. Isaiah 14:1.
All right, we're in the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land.
See, he gonna set his own land. Go ahead.
And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Right. So the strangers are the other nations. They go cleave to the house of Jacob. Go ahead.
And the people shall take them, and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord, for servants and handmaids.
See, they gonna be servants and handmaids. But go ahead.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
You see that? So the roles go reverse. Okay. Just like they ruled over us, we gonna do the same thing. But it's not gonna be the way they treat us. It's gonna be righteous servitude. Okay. And the rights that if they refuse, read Isaiah chapter 60. If they refuse to serve the God of Israel, the Most High will destroy them. But these people that's gonna cleave to Israel will be willing to serve. Okay. All right. So y'all see that? So let's go back to Zephaniah chapter 2. We're gonna start at verse 9 again.
All right. Finishing out verse 9. The residue of my people shall spoil them, and the remnant of my people shall possess them.
Okay.
This shall they have for their pride, because they have reproached and magnified themselves against the people of the Lord of hosts.
So this is their punishment what they did to us, because every nation had their hand in slavery. So you reap what you sow. So you did some things to our people. You're not gonna be just like we got punished for what we did. The Most High is gonna punish them for what they did to us. So they're not getting away with what they did. Every nation that went against us, against God's people, will get destroyed. That's Bible prophecy. Everybody follow? All right. So let's go to Baruch chapter 13, verse 12. So with this prophecies coming to pass, the Father commands us to come together. So we got to come together as a nation. We have to set our differences aside, okay? I know you see a bunch of different Israelite camps and stuff like that, and it shouldn't be that way, all right? It should be a part of this camp, part of that camp, like a Bloods and Crips thing. We all should be on one body because the body of Christ is one body. It's not you part of this church or part of that church. When people ask me who I'm with, I'm part of the Church of Christ. That's a church that we all should be a part of because we all bleed the same blood. We all go to the same thing, but we can't come together because we don't bleed the same names. That we need to put that aside. Come together like Christ said. Come together as a nation. A nation that gets itself cannot stand. Because when everything goes down, they're not gonna say, okay, we're gonna attack this group over here. They're gonna attack Israel as a whole. Okay? So we gotta put our differences aside, come together as a nation, and we'll work out the differences. And I believe that over time, once the brothers and sisters put their pride to the side and come together under Christ, we could do this. But we gotta get rid of that pride and come together and as one. Okay, we gotta do that. We gotta always examine ourselves. So once we do that, we be good to go. Okay, so let's go to Mark chapter 13, verse 12.
All right, we're in the book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 12. Now the brother shall betray the brother to death, and the father the son, and children shall rise up against their parents, and shall cause them to be put to death.
So this is going to happen. You know, a lot of our family members probably think we crazy. You know, when things go down, they might try to turn us in. This prophecy. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 13. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
You see that? So when you follow in Christ, you can be hated of all men. Your own family going to hate you. So you can be hated of all men for his name's sake, just like everybody hated Christ. And Christ never done nothing to nobody. He was just a meek and humble brother doing good for the people, but they hated him. So the same things that Christ went through, you can go through the same thing when you follow him. If everybody love you, you got to look at yourself. Okay, if I'm part of the world, if I'm still part of the world or not, because you follow him, you're not gonna be liked. Okay, so when people talk bad about you, lie on you, do things, just remember Christ went through the same thing, and he said it was gonna happen. That makes sense. I keep going.
But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
So how you be saved?
But endure to the end, the same shall be saved.
So people say, I'm saved. You saved for what? You're not. What you saved from? You got to endure to the end, then you be saved. Okay. Now you can say, I repent for my sins. I'm a changed man. That's different. But once you get baptized, come out that water, you're not supposed to go back to your old environment. You're not supposed to go back to the same things. You're supposed to continue walking in like Christ to the end, not sinning on purpose. Because if you get baptized, go right back to the same sin, your baptism was in vain. Now, are we going to fall throughout our walk? Of course, yeah, we're going to fall. All men going to fall short, but you're supposed to strive not to sin. That's the whole purpose, to the best of your ability. That makes sense? I'll keep going.
Verse 14. But when ye shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, standing where it ought not, let him that readeth understand it. Then let them that be in Judea flee to the mountains.
This happened in 70 A.D. when you read it in the book, Luke chapter 21, verse 20, when Titus and they came in and destroyed the land, and some of our people ran to the wilderness. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 15. And let him that is on the housetop not go down into the house, neither enter therein, to take anything out of his house.
Because it's going to be a time when the Most High say, I need you to go. And sometimes you just got to go what's on your back. Because the scripture said during these times, you got to be like pilgrims. And what do pilgrims do? They just keep moving. It doesn't because you move to another place, the work still got to be done. Because you look at disciples, they was always on the move. Even Paul, he was going to different cities doing the work. So just because you might go to another location, the Most High called you to go to, the work still got to be done. Because the gospel still got to be preached in the four corners of the earth. And we still got brothers and sisters throughout the four corners that want to hear the truth, but they don't have nobody in the area. To give y'all a little testimony, I had a phone call this week from a sister. She's part of the body for our congregation. Her family is in Europe, and they was it was called and said, you know what, man, you brothers has blessed our family with the truth, and now we will have nobody to congregate with, but we share y'all visions with brothers and sisters in Europe. And the sister got her whole family to truth. They come every Shabbat. There's no church out there, but they had their family come on the Shabbat, and they watch the videos. Learn as a family. Even the grandmother, 80 years old, I was talking to her, just found out who she was. She was like on the phone crying, like, man, I've been reading about her for years, but I didn't understand who we were. And now she teaches her grandchildren. And now the whole family's in the truth coming together. And, and I would just encourage you, look, just because there's nobody in your area, still learn from the church, stay connected to the body, and take what you learn. And it's, the Most High going to use y'all to be the one to bring the brothers and sisters in Europe to the truth. Mm-hmm. So don't feel discouraged because it might not be a church body out there. Y'all going to be the anchor of the church in the area, especially as a whole family. Got the grandchildren, the husband, wife, the whole family together in the truth. That's a blessing. I would just encourage you, look, stay together, pray together, because this is rare. That you got the whole family in the truth, and Satan will try to divide you. So it was just a blessing to hear that, that you never know who you could touch when you bring out the gospel, where is it going. It's just a blessing to hear that. So no matter where you are in this world, if you're by yourself or not, still do the work regardless. The Most High will bring people among you. Once you pray on it, go out and do the work, he will bring people among you. Just want to give an example to us. When we started out, it was only a few of us. It was me in the sister's kitchen doing the work. And then at the Most High, look where we at now. We got over 100 for people in the body now. When we first got this place, we didn't know how we was going to pay for it. We put our own funds up to keep it going, and we didn't know how we was going to pay for the next month. The Most High made a way. We just did the work. The Most High brought people in. And now we're here today. All praise to the Most High. Mm-hmm. For that. So prayer definitely doesn't work when you stay dedicated to work and never waver. The Most High will take care of you. So I just want to encourage brothers and sisters that even though you might be going through certain situations or you might feel these situations bad right now, stay focused because the tunnel's not far. You know, at the end of the tunnel is not far. And the Most High is not looking at, he's looking at all your works that you have done to this point. Is a reason why we all here today. You know, so don't take advantage of that. That makes sense? All right, let's keep going.
Verse 16. And let him that is in the field not turn back again for to take up his garment.
So we got to get ourselves out of this Babylonian mindset because it could be a time we have to go. Most I say, you know what? I need you to go feed my sheep over there, whatever it is. And we got to leave everything here that's in Babylon when it's time. That makes sense? So when most I say, come out of her, my people, it starts with the mindset first. Because when the children of Israel left Egypt, was their mindset right? Because the first thing they said, I was better off being back here in Egypt. You know? That's what you call that Stockholm syndrome? That's what they had. They felt they was better off being depressed. So we got to make sure we come out of spiritually. And then when it's time to go, when the Most High says it's time to go, we be able to move without any problems. Because we out there, the work still got to be done. So no matter where you at, the Most High going to use you. Because there's still a lot of brothers and sisters out there that need to hear this gospel. Because the scripture said the gospel got to preach to the four corners of the earth. It did what? Then the end shall come. So we all have a responsibility to bring it out. Deacon or not, we all teachers in here. Everybody here has a spiritual gift. And you don't know what your spiritual gift is, praise to the Most High. Ask to show what it is. Most times it's already in you. It's your personality, personality traits and what people say about you. It's already in you. You just have to channel that and use that for the Most High. That makes sense? So let's go to the book of James, chapter 1, verse 21.
With the book of James, chapter 1, verse 21. Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the grafted word.
So we gotta lay all these things down and receive with meekness the word, which is the scriptures. Go ahead.
Receive them with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls.
You know that he said meekness, humble. Even Christ, when you read Matthew chapter 5, he said, blessed them who are humble, who are meek. You shall what? Inherit the earth. Is a reason why I say, being humble. He definitely stressed that we have to remember that in our walk. Go ahead.
Verse 22. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves.
So we got to live this word. We have to be like Christ. We can't just only be like Christ only on the Sabbath. This is after the Sabbath throughout the week, because if I talk to some of your coworkers or you talk to some of my coworkers, if they say, okay, this brother's totally different. On the Sabbath, he's super holy, but in the week, he's totally different. You have to, be consistent because people are watching you. Your family are watching you. Your friends are watching you. Because if you try to tell the truth, but you're doing something opposite, your family, they're not going to follow you. Because like I said, you're doing the same things we doing. So why should I follow you, what you're dealing with, when you're doing the same things we doing? So we have to definitely be the example amongst the body, amongst our family, and amongst, people that's, in the workplace or whatever, just in the world, because we got to be a light in the world. That makes sense? All right, go ahead.
Verse 23. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass.
Right, because you just look at yourself, but it's no benefit. Okay, you just look at yourself. Go ahead.
Verse 24. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was.
Right.
But whoso looketh unto the perfect laws of liberty, and continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed.
So we doing the work, we keep his commandments, we be blessed. Okay, go ahead.
If any man among you seem to be religious, and bridleth not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is in vain.
I know y'all know people like that, somebody that's super religious. They talk like, oh, praising the Most High, brother. Shalom. The Lord is with me. And they just talk all this good talk, but the actions say different. Yeah, right. They talk you on the phone, they cut somebody in the traffic jam, and, and They doing things contrary to the scriptures. That's what I said. You don't want to be too religious, if you're not following the scriptures. Because people are like, brother, you're not practicing what you're preaching. I'll keep going.
Verse 27. Pure religion and undefiled before the Most High and the Father is this, to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction.
So that's what we should be doing, to visit the fatherless, the ones without any fathers, and widows in their affliction. Go ahead.
And to keep himself unspotted from the world.
Okay, so staying unspotted by sin is the key in these last days. It is what separates us from those who are fit for destruction. It was a key focus of all the prophets. So let's go to 2nd Esdras in the Apocrypha, chapter 1, verse 4. For anybody that doesn't know about the Apocrypha, these were extra books that was taken out of the regular King James 1611 Bible. There's actually books that was actually in it. They took out. Now, you're wondering how what's in there. You go to the book of Esther. Esther ends at chapter 10, verse 4. But you go to the Apocrypha, it says the rest of Esther. Because you read Esther, why it stops at chapter 10? In the Apocrypha, it picks it back up. So the Catholic Church took it out the 1611 Bible, and it says it's not spiritually inspired, but who gave the authority said it was spiritually inspired or not? Because the scripture said if you add or take away from the scriptures, you get what? Take it out of the book of life. So nobody gave them the authority to take it out. So just want to give a little history just in case anybody don't know about the Apocrypha. It's pretty much all in one book. You could buy it separately, or you can just buy King James 1611. So we have 2nd Esdras chapter 1, verse 4. 2nd Esdras chapter 1, verse 4.
All right. We're in the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 1, starting at verse 4. And the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Go thy way, and show my people their sinful deeds, and their children their wickedness.
And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to show our people our wicked deeds when we street preaching, or we talk to our brothers and sisters one-on-one, people that surround, and their children the wickedness. Okay, go ahead.
Which they have done against me, that may tell their children's children.
And that's what we're doing now. I'll say all praise to the Most High for the children's ministry. Praise the Most High for Sister Shanae and Sister Sharon, all the sisters, because our children right now learning the commandments at an early age. They're not going to know about Christmas and eating pork and stuff like that. They're going to be growing up knowing the scriptures, knowing the commandments. I wish I was that age to know what I know now. Just imagine you know what you know now at a young age, 5, 6, 7 years old. Growing up in the truth. So our children are blessed to receive this. So that's why it says his commanders, look, they're going to tell their children. When they get children, they're going to pass it along. We have to break the curse. That's how you break the curse right here. Tell the children the truth about what's going on. Okay, keep going.
Verse 6. Because the sins of their father are increased in them, for they have forgotten me, and have offered unto strange gods.
Because that's what happened when you read the story of children of Israel, when the Most High destroyed them, when Joshua and Caleb came to the land. We read the book of Judges chapter 2. The children grow up, and they did the same thing when their parents did. Their parents did because they didn't get taught the truth. We want to break that cycle, or break that curse. We don't want our children growing up and making the same mistakes that we did. So that's why it's so important to train up a child the way they should go. All right, keep going.
Verse 7. Am not I even he that brought them out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage? But they have provoked me unto wrath, and despised my counsels.
Right.
Pull thou off then the hair of thy head, and cast all evil upon them. For they have not been obedient unto my law, but it is a rebellious people.
And we know we've been rebellious people as a nation. Don't want to hear it. Even now, you tell people that we should keep the commandments, or it's done away with. I don't want to keep it. I followed on God according to my heart. And the scripture said your heart is wicked. Jeremiah 17 and 8 said your heart is wicked. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 9. How long shall I forbear them, unto whom I have done so much good?
Right, because how long you should forbear? The Most High, even back then, people did that grace was not in the Old Testament. Even when we was in the wilderness for 40 years, even though we was doing wrong, he gave us plenty of time to get it right. Time and time again, for captivity. You put the captivity, he take us out. Okay, I'm gonna give you another chance. Okay, you messed up, put you another captivity again. Take you out, give you another chance. Up to now, and we still can't get it right. So grace was always in the scriptures for the Old Testament, New Testament. The Most High always had grace on the people, because if just imagine that was you, And look at Israel, how they did the Most High. How many of us will give Israel long suffering or give them grace? Somebody crossed you one time, you ready? You said, I'm done with you. Allah said, I'm done with you. I'm not going to deal with you again. But the Most High dealt with us as a nation. He still loves us through our flaws and all. And we got to have that same spirit amongst each other. We're going to have our disagreements. We're not going to like things we say. We had to come together and work it out. With our disagreements, come together, talk about it, work it out, hug it out, let's keep it moving. There's no time to hold grudges because our time is coming. We have to weed out any differences amongst us. That makes sense? I'll keep going.
Verse 10. Many kings have I destroyed for their sakes.
See, he said many kings. I mean, just look for the Old Testament, how many people he destroyed. He destroyed Pharaoh. He destroyed all the different kings after that. Okay, for our sakes. Go ahead.
Pharaoh with his servants and all his power have I smitten down. All the nations have I destroyed before them, and in the east I have scattered the people of the two provinces, even of Tyrus and Sidon, and have slain all their enemies.
And that's why. And the reason why we go to this is because if you don't know your past, you don't know where you're going. So we had to go back to the past and find out what the mistakes that we made as a people. So going forward, we won't make the same mistakes. Okay, that's why it says in Romans 15:4 that we read the scriptures for learning. We get that real quick. Romans 15:4 real quick, and then we gonna go to Jeremiah 2:11. Give me Romans 15:4. Because people are like, you already talk about the past all the time. What's happened in the past? No, we got to talk about it. We got to figure out what mistakes we made, so we won't go do the same things again.
All right, this is the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
It was written for our learning. So we read the scriptures about us in the wilderness and what they did. Okay, I'm not going to follow the same guys that did in the wilderness. Okay, I'm looking at what Solomon did. I'm looking at what other people did and how they failed. Okay, I'm not going to make the same mistakes. It's for our learning. That's why it's so important to read the Old Testament. You see that? Okay, so let's go to Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 11. So somebody say, "Oh, we had to read that. That's too old. That's Old Testament. We need to move forward." No, bro. I need to find out what happened. We have to read so we can learn from our mistakes. So we know that we do move forward. We won't make the same mistakes our foreparents did.
All right, we're in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, starting at verse 11. Hath a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods? But my people have changed their glory for that which doeth not profit.
Mm-hmm.
Be astonished, O ye heavens, at this, and be horribly afraid. Be ye very desolate, saith the Most High. For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters.
The fountain of living waters is Christ. Go ahead.
And hewn them out cisterns, broken cisterns, that can hold no water.
It's about we with the other gods. Okay, go ahead.
Is Israel a servant?
Is Israel a servant? Go ahead.
Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled?
See, is Israel a homeborn slave? That's what we think. Are we a homeborn slave? We've been slavery for so long. We will never be on top. We always in slavery. That's the question he was asking. Are we a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Because the Most High said we should be what? Above all people. Right? He chose to be a kingdom of priests. We should not be in the servant stage. We should be kings and queens. We messed it up for ourselves because we wanted to worship other gods. So we can't blame anybody else but us. We cannot blame Esau. We cannot blame them. Now, they had a hand. They did have a hand in our slavery. We're not absolving them, but we give them too much credit what they did to us because we did it to ourselves. That's what we do. So we can't all put the finger on 100%. You got to put a finger on you first. We got to come back and keep his law, statutes, commandments, and repent as a nation. Then we get back to our status we at. And that's what we're doing right now. And the Most High is living off the captivity off of us. We're waking up as a nation, and that time is coming. But like I said, we had to go back and find out how we get to this point. We got to look at the steps and how do we get to this point and how to get out of this point. And what we're doing now, come together, keep the commandments, following Christ, and our time will come. That makes sense? So let's go to 2nd Esdras. You have something? 2nd Esdras chapter 2, verse 42. So we must stay inspired and not become complacent and accepted of this wicked world. Are we slaves or we are destined for great authority? The truth is we were never meant to serve, and now more than ever we must remember that and stop bowing our necks to Satan's kingdom and stand in the righteous pride for the Father's kingdom. We must remember that and stop bowing our necks to Satan's kingdom and stand in the righteous pride for the Father's kingdom. So let's go to 2 Esdras chapter 2, verse 42.
All right. We're in the book of 2 Esdras, chapter 2, starting at verse 42. I, Esdras, saw upon the Mount Sion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praised the Most High with songs.
If you're going to find out who's that great number is, you're going to find out it's Israel. Because a lot of people just think that it's only the 144,000. No, that's just the leaders. Okay, you just got to remember that. It's like a government system. Just think about America. Christ is what? The president, got the House of Representatives, Congress, the 144,000, then you got the people. That makes sense? You got to think in that sense. The 104,000 are the leaders. Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
Verse 43. And in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature.
Now, who's that young man of high stature? That's Hosea. That's Christ. Tell you right here, Christ is the Old Testament. That's why he's talking about Christ. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Taller than all the rest.
Okay.
And upon every one of their heads he set crowns.
So he set crowns at every one of these people. And like I said, how many people was it? A multitude of people. Okay? So we all want to be that number. When the Most High is putting the crown on your head for your work. Okay? Go ahead.
And was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly.
Okay.
So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal.
And how do you do that? Baptism. Okay? You come to the water as mortal, come out immortal, and be like what? Christ. Your garment is clean. Okay? That's put off the mortal. That makes sense? Go ahead.
And have confessed the name of Ahia. Now are they crowned and receive palms.
So now they crowned, they receive palms. Go ahead.
Verse 46. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them, and giveth them palms in their hands?
So Esdras asked, who's that young person that's giving them crowns? Let's find out who it is.
So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of the Most High.
Who is it?
The Son of the Most High.
Who's the Son of the Most High? Yeshua, Christ. Go ahead.
Whom they have confessed in the world.
Yep.
Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Most High.
And these are people that stood stiffly. No matter what happened, they stood on their ground. They stood on their square for the name of the Most High, in the name of Christ. We want to be one of these people right here. Okay, go ahead.
Then the angel said unto me, Go thy way and tell my people what manner of things and how great wonders of the Lord thy power thou hast seen.
So you see right there? So Esdras saw a future prophecy. Now, during this time, Christ wasn't even around yet. During the time of Esdras. But he saw this. He saw this vision. You see why the Old Testament is important? Because there's future prophecies in the Old Testament too. We'll talk about Christ. The whole book is about Christ. So Esdras saw this vision of us in the end. Y'all see that? Now, give me Hosea 1 and 10 real quick to find out who's that multitude. To show you that Israel is that nation without number. Hosea 1 and 11.
All right, we're in the book of Hosea, chapter 1, verse 11.
Start at verse 10. I'm sorry.
Verse
Start at
10.
Yeah.
Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea.
See, the children of Israel should be what? The sand of the sea. You can't count the sand of the sea, right? Go ahead.
Which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place which was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power.
In what place people say we were not his people? America. Right here in America. And now we waking up in the midst of Babylon. It said, you are the sons. Sisters, you are the queens. Brothers, you are the kings. You are a royal nation. Go ahead.
Verse 11. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together, and appoint themselves one head.
Which is Christ.
And they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel.
There's a place in Palestine. You want to know Jezreel. That's all it is. But you see, it said what? The children of Israel is what? Like the sand of the sea. It go right back to it Esdras. That sand of the sea. That makes sense? So believe it or not, brothers and sisters, there's a lot of brothers and sisters that's in the truth throughout the four corners of the earth. I know some of y'all saw a snippet at Passover. But there's a lot of brothers and sisters waking up throughout the four corners. Okay? And the church is growing so big is that we try to figure out how we can support brothers and sisters to cover the different areas because the elders get a bunch of emails. Yeah, I'm here in Russia. I'm in the truth. You know, we got any brothers over here? Yeah, I'm in Japan. You know, we got any brothers out here? It's growing so fast. Exactly. That 7-9 by that multitude. Let's get that real quick. Revelation 7-9 about the multitude, because they'll read the other verses about the 144,000. The next verse said, "And then I saw a multitude." They missed that part. So it's not just only 144,000. A lot of people get that misunderstanding. It's a multitude of people. Exactly. You gotta think about it. These are talking about people even already back to Adam up to now. They're gonna be in the kingdom too. You see, people forget about that. What about the prophets and all them? They're the ones that was around that time that died for Christ's sake. They're gonna be there too. So you gotta remember that too.
The book of Revelations, chapter 7, verse 9. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations.
What is it? All nations, Jews and Gentiles. Go ahead.
Could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed in with white robes and palms in their hands.
The same thing, precept, the same we just read the address. Y'all see that? You see why it's so important to go precept to precept? You got to go back and forth with the Old New Testament because they're saying the same thing. They match perfectly. Y'all see that? So I just want to show that. So let's go back to the second address, chapter 2, verse 15.
All right, we're in the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 2, starting at verse 15. Mother, embrace thy children, and bring them up with gladness. Make their feet as fast as a pillar, for I have chosen thee, saith the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
And those that be dead will I raise up again from their places, and bring them out of the graves, for I have known my name in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Fear not, thou mother of the children, for I have chosen thee, saith the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
For thy help will I send my servants Hosea and Jeremy, after whose counsel
It's Isaiah, Jeremy. Yep, Isaiah, Jeremiah. Go ahead.
after whose counsel I have sanctified and prepared for thee 12 trees laden with diverse fruits,
Mm-hmm.
and as many fountains flowing with milk and honey, and 7 mighty mountains, whereupon there grow roses and lilies, whereby I will fill thy children with joy.
Now, those 7 mountains are mentioned in the book of Enoch are said to be made of precious stones. We read the book of Enoch. The Most High allowed his word through his prophets such as Isaiah and Jeremiah to reprove our ways so he can give awards to those who love him. We must look at the bigger picture and the love the Father for loving enough for us to offer us such promises after living sinful lives as a nation. Let's go to Revelations 22, verse 1. Let's get more examples about the kingdom. Okay.
All right, we're in the book of Revelations, chapter 22, starting at verse 1. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal.
So just imagine this, a clear as crystal. Okay, go ahead.
Proceeding out of the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb.
Which is Christ. Go ahead.
In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations.
So for the healing of the nations. Okay, go ahead.
And there shall be no more curse.
During this time, there will be no more curse. Go ahead.
But the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb shall be in it, and the servants shall serve him. And they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads.
And his names will be in their foreheads. You see that? Go ahead.
Verse 5. And there shall be no night there, and they need no candle, neither light.
And why is that? Because Christ is what? The light. He was the light. So it will be no light, no nighttime there. Go ahead.
For the Lord power giveth them light, and they shall reign forever and ever.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6. And he said unto me, These sayings are faithful and true, and the Lord power of the holy prophets sent his angel to show unto his servants the things which must shortly be done.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 7, Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the saying of the prophecy of this book.
So you keep the sayings of the prophecy of this book. This is red letters. This is Christ. You'll be blessed. So we got to stay on course, okay? And this we could expect when we keep his law, statutes, and commandments and follow him. All right? So let's jump down to verse 14.
Jumping down to verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments.
Blessed that do what?
That do his commandments.
So when somebody said the laws are the way with, they from Satan, straight up. Because it says, what it say right here? This is Revelation. He said, bless them that do what?
That do his commandments.
Okay.
That they may have right to the tree of life.
So if we want to receive those things we read in the first 7 verses, we have to do what? His commandments. Go ahead.
And may enter in through the gates into the city.
Right.
For without are dogs.
So without this are dogs, the people that want to keep his commandments, the Most High, they call them dogs. What else?
And sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie.
So eternal life or your own lust, feel existence is the choice. You want to deal with eternal life or you want to deal with your own lust? Make no mistake about it. If you're living a lie, you would definitely fry. Y'all like that? If you're living a lie, you would definitely fry. All right, so let's get another example. Revelation 21:16. Revelation 21:16.
All right, we're in Book of Revelations, chapter 21, verse 16. And the city lieth foursquare, and the length is as large as the breadth. And he measured the city with the reed, 12,000 furlongs. The length and the breadth of the height of it are equal.
Right.
And he measured the wall thereof, 144 cubits, according to the measure of a man, that is, of the angel.
So we read in Zechariah chapter 2, when you read the precept, that's the angel measuring the people, which is Israel. That's what he's doing right here. We read that. You can lay this right there with Zechariah chapter 2. Go ahead.
Verse 18. And the building of the wall of it was of jasper.
So I want y'all to imagine this. It was of jasper. You know, there's a precious stone. Go ahead.
And the city was pure, gold, like unto clear glass.
Right.
And the foundations of the wall of the city were garnished with all manner of precious stones. The first foundation was jasper, the second sapphire, the third a chalcedony, the fourth an emerald, the fifth sardonyx.
We do look at these stones. These have significance. Okay. When you read about the priests, they wore the ephod. They had the different stones representing the tribes of Israel. We read the Old Testament. Go ahead.
The fifth sardonyx, the sixth sardius, the seventh chrysolite, the eighth beryl, the ninth a topaz, the 10th chrysoprasus, the 11th a jacinth, the 12th amethyst. And the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every several gate was of 1 pearl, and the street of the city was pure gold, as it were transparent glass.
You see that it was pure gold, like transparent. Think about this: the roads we got now got a bunch of bumps and speed bumps and all that stuff like that. Imagine a road just pure gold and transparent glass. Can you imagine that? You gotta worry about no potholes or all kind of stuff like that. Just it's a kingdom. This is why America is not a kingdom. All right, so let's go to Lamentations chapter 4, verse 16. So in this world, we have to turn in our gold just to get a few bucks to keep the lights on. The kingdom to come doesn't come with a light bill. We must keep our spirits high and keep things in proper perspective so we don't rob ourselves of our reward. So we have to remember that. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 16, right? Jeremiah is a book of, just during the time, and this is the time when Israel was weeping. So we read Lamentations. Right to Jeremiah.
Yep.
That's why they call Jeremiah the weeping prophet. You know, he was always crying. So yeah, he got a whole book called Lamentations.
All right, everybody ready? We're in the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 22.
16.
16, Salakia. The anger of the Most High have divided them. He will no more regard them. They respected not the persons of the priests. They favored not the elders.
See, that's the reason why we didn't favor the elders. We didn't listen to any counsel. That's why we're in the position that we was in. Go ahead.
As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
Mm-hmm.
They hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come.
Mm-hmm.
Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of heaven. They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
The breath of our nostrils, the anointed of the Most High, was taken in their pits, of whom we said, under his shadow we shall live among the heathen.
Right.
Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee, that thou shalt be drunken, and shalt make thyself naked.
Mm-hmm.
The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away unto captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins.
So he's the most, Christ will destroy Edom for what they did. So there'll be no more slavery and no more slave mindsets. What are we waiting for? So this is going to happen. So it says in the scriptures that whoever lead the captivity should go into captivity. So they're going to deal with what they did to us as a nation. So that's what y'all tell. This is our last captivity. Right here is our last captivity. To prove that, let's go to Baruch. Before you go, let's go to Baruch chapter 2 in the Apocrypha verse 30. Just in case you want to get scriptures on that before we go to Hebrews. This is our final and last captivity.
We're in the book of Baruch, chapter 2, verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people.
So the Most High knew we were going to hear him. He knew we were going to be a stiff-necked people. Go ahead.
But in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves.
See that? In the land, in their captivities, they should remember themselves. We're here right now. Go ahead.
And shall know that I am the Most High their power. For I will give them an heart and ears to hear.
So now we have a heart and ears to hear now as a nation. Go ahead.
And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name.
See? And what his name? Ahaya. There you go. Go ahead.
And return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds.
Mm-hmm.
For they shall remember the ways of their fathers.
And that's what we doing now. We remember the ways of our fathers. We waking up, keeping the law, statutes, commandments, reading the scriptures. Okay, go ahead.
Which sin before the Most High. And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it.
See, that's what we all want, to be lords over the lands, right? Go ahead.
And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished.
See, if we go increase, because a lot of people will know, are we going to be able to increase? We are, according to Scripture. Go ahead.
And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their power.
How long is everlasting? Forever, right? Go ahead.
And they shall be my people, and I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them.
See that? Last captivity. Once you go back, that's it. You see that? So we got to stay focused. And just look at what's going on. Look at the prophecies, watch and pray, see what's going on, and get prepared to go back to Zion. Go back home. This is not home for us. You know what I mean? This is not home. We just visiting right now. Just look at that until we go back home. Baruch 2, chapter 30 to 35, right?
Yep.
Okay. So let's go to Hebrews chapter 12, verse 9.
All right. We're in the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, starting at verse 9. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live?
Mm-hmm.
For they verily for a few days chastened us after their own pleasure. But he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness.
You see that? So there's a reason why we're going through this captivity. It's for our profit. It's for our benefit. So we know how the Most High is. Okay? So he puts us in captivity and chasten us. So, okay, we know. And next time, we're not messing with the Most High because we know how he did last time. Right? Just like a child, when your child do something wrong, you corrected him. Your child know next time when I'm not gonna do it again because I know dad gonna get me or mom will get me. So it's for our benefit. You see that? Go ahead.
Verse 11. Now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous.
It's not joyous. I mean, it's not joyous being in captivity. It's not joyous being in the condition that we in. But what?
But grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yielded the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby.
But through this captivity, we do what? We learn from it. Okay, we repent, we learn from it, and we become better. Okay, go ahead.
Wherefore lift up the hands which hang down and the feeble knees, and make straight the path for your feet, lest that which is lame be turned out of the way, but let it rather be healed.
So it's time for healing. We are weak and destroyed because of our lack of walking in spiritual straight fashion. But our kingdom is at hand. So you got to remember that our kingdom is at hand. It's coming. So let's go to Isaiah chapter 35, verse 1.
All right, we're at the book of Isaiah, chapter 35, starting at verse 1. The wilderness and the solitary place shall be glad for them, and the desert shall rejoice and blossom as the rose. It shall blossom abundantly, and rejoice even with joy and singing. The glory of Lebanon shall be given unto it, the excellency of Carmel and Sharon. They shall see the glory of the Most High, and the excellency of our power.
Mm-hmm.
Strengthen ye the weak hands, and confirm the feeble knees. Say to them that are of a fearful heart, be strong, fear not.
So the people that say fearful heart, be strong, fear not. Go ahead.
Behold, your power will come with vengeance.
Right, so they say he will come with vengeance. They'll say vengeance is the Lord. He's going to come and destroy our enemies before our face. Okay, go ahead.
Even the Most High with a recompense. He will come and save you.
He will come and save us. Go ahead.
Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, and the ears of the deaf shall be unstopped.
Mm-hmm.
Then shall the lame man leap as a hart, and the tongue of the dumb sing. For in the wilderness shall waters break out, and streams in the desert.
You see, so Most High is going to make a way for us to get to leave, right? He's going to make a way for us. Go ahead.
And the parched ground shall become a pool, and the thirsty land springs of water. In the habitation of dragons, where each lay, shall be grass with reeds and rushes.
Mm-hmm.
And a highway shall be there, and a way, and it shall be called the way of holiness. The unclean shall not pass over it, but it shall be for those, the wayfaring men, though fools shall not err therein.
Mm-hmm.
No lion shall be there, nor any ravenous beast shall go up thereupon. It shall not be found there, but the redeemed shall walk there. And the ransomed of the Most High shall return, and come to Zion with songs and everlasting joy upon their heads. They shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow and sighing and sighing shall be flee away.
So we all gonna look forward to this. So we got to cheer up and have pride in walking righteously. Don't be like, oh man, I got to keep the commandments. No, we should be cheerful, keep His commandments, right? Because it's not grievous, right? That's how we should operate. Don't get discouraged with this world. Say you crazy, you part of a cult, and something wrong with you. You follow the Bible literally. I talked to one person. They say I'm too woke. You too woke. You too woke for me. I can't be around you. You follow too literally. You don't celebrate no holidays, not even Christmas. Yeah, that's the word now. You too woke. I don't know y'all hear that term or not, but somebody told me that I was too woke. But you gonna hear these things because they said it to Christ. They said Christ was crazy. So we're gonna hear these things. All right. So don't let the world get you down. Beautiful things are promised that this decaying world cannot ever give you, because this world cannot give you what the Most High will give you. This place is fallen. This place is done. So this is not our rest. It's not our kingdom. We got to look for a better kingdom, which is to come. That makes sense? So let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 3.
We're at the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 6, verse 3. If any man teach otherwise, and consent not to wholesome words, even the words of our Lord Yeshua Christ, and to the doctrine which is according to godliness, he is proud, knowing nothing.
He is what?
He is proud, knowing nothing.
That's why it's so important that whoever's bringing the scriptures out, they got to bring what? The scriptures according to Christ. Start with the principles, Hebrews 6:1 and 2, the principles of Christ. Somebody go outside of that, they is proud, knowing nothing, and they definitely got the spirit of heresy and division. Okay, go ahead.
But doting about questions and strifes of words, whereof cometh envy, strife, railings, evil surmisings.
See, if they instead of trying to come to edify, they want to come around and just want to debate and cause division, want to question things. Y'all might see brothers like that. Like the Pharisees and Sadducees, every time Christ is around, they question him. Brother, why you out here picking corn on the Sabbath? But why you out here on the Sabbath watching me picking corn? And you supposed to be in the keeping the Sabbath in the house? Why you outside looking at me picking corn on the Sabbath when you supposed to be in the house? You know what I mean? So they do that constantly. They always check for every little small thing and not looking at themselves. And that was the problem with the Pharisees. You don't want to be a Pharisee, okay? Always pointing at people. Point at yourself first. Always self-reflect. What am I doing? You know, am I right with the Father? Because when you read Matthew 23, Christ said, look, you shut up the kingdom for them. You're not going to make it yourself. That's what he was saying in Matthew 23. He was telling the Pharisees that. So you walking around telling people they're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. You're not going to make it yourself. So we got to be careful. We don't want to have that spirit. Okay? There's nothing wrong with correcting brothers in the spirit of love and meekness. That's different from just going around just pointing every little thing and pointing at people and just causing envy, strife, and division. That's the difference. That makes sense? Just going around just judging people for no reason. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 5. Perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds, and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness, from such withdraw them thyself. But godliness with contentment is great gain.
See, but godliness with contentment is great gain, so we got to be content. Okay? I know a lot of us will be millionaires in here. There's a reason why we're not millionaires. Because if you're a millionaire, guess what? You're going to fall off. Right. Right. So that's why I say it said in the scripture, what? It's harder for the rich man to what? Make it to the kingdom. Not saying nothing wrong with having riches. Because if you look at Abraham, he was considered rich in those times, Solomon, all of them. But the reason why the Most High didn't put you in certain places you want to be, because, you know, look, if I give you this, I know you're going to fall off. So look at it as a blessing that, look, as long as I'm able to have food, shelter, and water, and I get able to operate, I'm good. And the Most High give me something extra than that, that's a blessing too. We got to be, you know, because there's some people that don't have none of that. It's somebody that don't have a house right now. It's somebody that right now have nothing to eat. So we got to be, you know, content with what we have and think the Most High what we do have. You know? So we got to remember that. So God, but godliness and with contentment is great gain. So it's just good wisdom. Go ahead.
Verse 7. For we brought nothing into this world.
Because we didn't come out the room with $100 in our pocket. Right? We didn't come out the room knowing have everything, right? You didn't bring nothing to this world, and you can't take it with you. I mean, I haven't seen nobody go have it. I haven't seen the funeral where they have a Brinks truck pulled up in the funeral. Have you seen that? Or they had somebody's car pulled up in the funeral, you take it with you in the grave. You can't take it with you because soon you die. Guess what? That house that you bought, somebody's gonna move right in there and live in it. And you don't own it anyway. Anyway, you have because the bank can take it from you and you miss your payment. You just renting your house, but that's a different story. But well, keep going.
And it is certain we can carry nothing out. And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content.
And had what?
Food and raiment, let us be therewith content.
But look at Christ. Christ didn't have a place to lay his own head. He didn't have a house. Because his focus was what? Doing the work. He said, I became poor for your sake. Christ could have had all riches in the world where he was saying. He was doing miracles. He could have charged people for doing miracles. Did he do that? No. He said, I became poor for your sake. I didn't even have a place to stay myself. Because my whole mission was what? I had to go wake up Israel. And when you're doing the work, the Most High will bless you along the work. People going to do stuff for you when you blessing them. So we got to remember that. So when you're doing the work and keeping the Most High first, he's going to make sure you have everything. Even though Christ didn't have a place to stay, I'm pretty sure where he went, people made sure he had a place to stay because he was blessing them. So we got to have that same mindset. That makes sense? All right, go ahead. That was it? Okay, that's it. So let's go to Hosea chapter 2, verse 1. So contentment is key. This is not the kingdom promised to our forefathers, so seeking to be kings here is useless. Wake up, You are destined for so much more than this. You can get there if you just stand now and don't look back. So we can't look back. We gotta stay forward. Don't look back. We don't want to be Lot's wife. We don't want to look back. Okay, looking forward.
We're in the book of Hosea, chapter 2, verse 1. Say ye unto your brethren, Ami, and to your sisters, Rahuma, plead with your mother, plead, for she is not my wife, neither am I her husband.
Let's talk about Israel. Go ahead.
Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight, and her adulteries from between her breasts.
Let's prove that it's Israel. Give me Jeremiah 3 and 1 real quick to show you that's Israel he's talking about right here. We're going to prove that it's Israel right here. We're going to go to Jeremiah 3 and 1. Then we're going to go right back to Hosea.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 1. They say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him, and become another man's, shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers, yet return again to me, saith the Most High.
You talk about Israel. You played the harlot with many lovers. I mean, how many guys we was dealing with? All kind of guys, right? Go ahead.
Breaking the first commandment.
Yep.
Verse 2. Lift up thine eyes unto the high places, and see where thou hast not been lain with.
I mean, look at who you had not laid with. Everybody on the block, you laid with. That's what Most High was saying. Everybody. That's about Israel as a whole. Okay, go ahead.
In the ways hast thou sat for them as the Arabian in the wilderness, and thou hast polluted the land with thy whoredoms and with thy wickedness.
Mm-hmm.
Let the showers have been withholden, and there have been no latter rain, and thou hast a whore's forehead. Thou refusest to be ashamed.
Right.
Wilt thou not from this time cry unto me, my father? Thou art the guide of my youth.
Mm-hmm.
Will he reserve his anger forever? Will he keep it to the end? Behold, thou hast spoken and done evil things as thou couldest.
Okay, so let's go back to Hosea. So he's talking about Israel. We paid the heart of everybody. We dealt with let's look at now all the religions. Who's in all of them? Islam, we in it. Egyptology, we in it. Christianity, we in it. Or any religion, we in it. But if we go to the Chinese community, they all worship the same God. In the community, they worship the same God. But us, we worship all their gods. We did it with Hinduism. We did it with anything you could think of, we in it. That's why we say you play the harlot. We don't have our own God. That's why you line up 10 Hebrews and ask who they believe. One is I'm a Jehovah's Witness. When I am saved. When I am a God. When I'm a Muslim. 10 different answers. Okay? But any other nation, they can tell you who they are, where they come from. That's how you know we Israel. We all over the place. So let's go back to Hosea 2 when we most time talk about Israel.
We're going to Hosea chapter 2, starting at verse 3. Lest I strip her naked, and set her as in the day that she was born, and make her as a wilderness, and set her like a dry land, and slay her with thirst.
Mm-hmm.
And I will not have mercy upon her children, for they be the children of whoredoms.
So that's why we suffer, because of our foreparents. We the children, okay? Exactly. We every time we read the Ten Commandments, they say what? The curse, the third and fourth generation. We read the Ten Commandments. We that curse, but we breaking that curse now. Go ahead.
Verse 5. For their mother have played the harlot. She that conceived them have done shamefully. For she said, I will go after my lovers, that give me my bread and my water, my wool and my flax, mine oil and my drink.
Mm-hmm. See, that's like us, Israel. I'm gonna go after them. No different. Think about this. When the Most High saved us out of Egypt, what did Aaron and the children of Israel do real quickly after we left the wilderness? Build golden calves. We're gonna build golden calves. This right here, this is gonna be our God right here. You just see the Most High destroy Pharaoh and the Egyptians, save you to the Red Sea, you the wilderness, and you go worship this golden calf. And say that, we're gonna worship this calf. This is our God right here. Can't even talk back to you. This dumb stone, this dumb calf. That's Israel. You see that? So that's how we done as a nation. Go ahead.
Verse 6. Therefore, behold, I will hedge up thy way with thorns, and make a wall, that she shall not find her paths.
Mm-hmm.
And she shall follow after her lovers, but she shall not overtake them. And she shall seek them, but shall not find them. Then shall she say, I will go and return to my first husband, for then was it better with me than now.
See, it was better than me being now. So now we had to go through these things. You know what? We went to all these days. I was better off being with the Most High than being over here. You see that? And that's what we understanding now. We realize that all these religions are false, you know, and now we go back to our first love, which is the Most High. Y'all see that? So the Most High stripped us of our resources and land so we could realize that it was He who truly loved us. He loves to do us all. So now it's time. We return like the analogy give us so many, so He can embrace us once more. So we got to go back to the Father now, as a people, and as we doing that, we come back to the Father and keep His commandments. Realize that everything we've been taught here is a lie, and we are coming back to the Father as a nation. But we had to go through these things. Instead of Israel listening the first time, we like to go through it first and understand it first. Then it's, oh, you know what, you right. Instead of just listening the first time, we got to go through it. We got to see it ourselves first. Oh, you right. Hard, as I said, hard to hit stiff in that. You see that? So let's jump to verse 14. Hosea 2:14.
Jump under verse 14. Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her unto the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her.
See?
And I will give her her vineyards from thence, and the valley of Achor for a door of hope. And she shall sing there, as in the days of her youth, and as in the day when she came up out of the land of Egypt.
Right, so that's how you know that her is what? Israel. You see that? Correct?
And it shall be at that day, saith the Most High, that thou shalt call me Ishi, and shall call me no more Bali.
Okay, and we went to that a previous lesson I did in the past. When y'all look at the lesson I did previously, I forgot the lesson I did when I broke down Ishi and Baali, but Ishi means my husband, if you look it up in the Hebrew. Okay, and Baali means my master, which is the other names we was calling back then, like Jehovah, Yahweh, all different gods. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 17. For I will take away the names of Baalim out of her mouth.
See, that's where it said the names. So you look at the names of Baalim, that's all the different names. Okay, go ahead.
And they shall no more be remembered by their name.
Right.
And in that day will I make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, and with the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and will make them to lie down safely. Mm-hmm. And I will betroth thee unto me forever. Yea, I will betroth thee unto me in righteousness, and in judgment, and in loving kindness, and in mercies. I will even betroth thee unto me in faithfulness, and thou shalt know the Most High.
You see that? And the Most High going to bring us back to all of this, even though we played a harlot, you mess, like you said, mess with everybody in the corner. He's still going to bring us back, clean us up, and still love us as a nation, even though we would do all these things. You had a question? Yeah, Ishi do me Savior. We do break it down. Ishi do me Savior too as well. I think it's Hebrew 34:67. You go to Hebrew. Ishi does me Savior was least to Yeshaya. Or Yeshua. Yeshua me save. Yeshaya means my Savior in Hebrew. Okay. Right. Room, exactly. Mm-hmm. So let's go to, you had something? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 11, verse 2.
All right, we're going to the book of Isaiah, chapter 11, starting at verse 2. And the Spirit of the Most High shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of fear of the Most High, and shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Most High. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins. The wolf shall also dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid.
So that's going to be in the kingdom. Now we're going to be playing with lions, and leopards, and bears. Okay, or the reason why lions, you supposed to say lions, what? Because lions was not supposed to act the way they act now. The reason why they act the way they act now because of sin. Before that we was able to lie with them. Okay, like play with them. Okay, go ahead, Brother Richard. Yes, I think it's in here. Yep.
This is it.
Verse 7. It
Yep.
says in verse 7. Yep. Is it here?
Starting at verse 6. The wolf shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together.
That'd be interesting. A calf hanging out with a lion. And now you see a calf, they ready to attack it. Go ahead.
And the little children shall lead them.
Right,
Little
our children will be leading them. Just imagine our children leading these animals. Go ahead.
And the cow and the bear shall feed. Their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox.
See that? The lion will be straw like the ox. Go ahead.
And the sucking child shall play on the hole of the asp, and the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockatrice's den. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, for the Most High shall be full of the knowledge of the Most High, as the waters cover the sea.
Okay, so we'll go one more last scripture. Let's go to Hebrews. Let's go to Hebrews 13:11. No, Romans 13:11. It's in the house, not time. Waking by sleep. Romans 13:11. So this is gonna look forward to. That's why I want to stress, today's lesson. Don't look back. We almost there. This is what we can look forward to. Right, and nothing back there. This place is done. We got what we got from this place, and it's done. It's time to really be in the real kingdom when we can lay back and relax under Christ and get that eternal rest.
All right.
Be the cafeteria way too long. Yep. I hear you, sister.
All right, everybody there? All right, with the book of Romans, chapter 13, starting at verse 11. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
And that, knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed.
Our salvation is nearer than what we believe. So I want to end off with that, brothers and sisters. Peace and love is on the way. To obtain eternity, you must sacrifice that which is corruptible because it will not last. Stay positive and prayed up. We love you all. And I just want to say that during these times, if you don't have these books, because give me Isaiah 33:6. It says wisdom and knowledge is going to sustain you during these times. It's going to be a time that we're not going to be able to come together like we want to. It's not going to be a time where persons that want to watch this online, they're not going to be able to talk to us. So in the meantime, if you don't have it, get you a King James Bible, get you an Apocrypha, just to start off with. For the brothers and sisters that don't have a place to congregate, stay with your family, pray together, go to scriptures together. The ones that are together right now, we got to stick together as a nation, pray for one another, be there for one another, and pull each other up when you see brothers falling off. Because we all want to make it in. It's, like I said, we all in this race together. We have to lock arms together. We all one big family. And we got to remember that. We got to get rid of the mindset of being individuals and think about being as a team. What can I do to help my brother? What can I do to help my sister? We got to have that mindset. Okay? If you see our brothers going off, that's corruptible love. Okay? All right? Let's get that real
We're
quick.
in Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times.
See that? And wisdom and knowledge is going to be what? The stability of our times. How we get wisdom? Keep the law, statutes, commandments. Okay? And the Holy Spirit gives us wisdom when we keep the commandments. Right? Go ahead.
And strength of salvation. The fear of the Most High is his treasure.
So the fear of the Most High is his treasure. So, like I said, we love you all. Remember that in this walk, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. And that's making home back to Zion. Shalom.